There are moments when everything on the outside seems calm, yet inside, it feels as if a quiet storm is churning deep within. The smile remains on your face, the work goes on as usual, but your heart feels heavy, and your mind is tangled like a web of knots. You're tired, drained, yet unsure who you can truly share it with. These are the moments that seem invisible to others, yet they have the power to consume your entire soul. Buddha taught that the path to healing does not begin outside, it begins within. The peace, the strength, and the love you've been searching for have always been there, patiently waiting for you to return. And this journey doesn't require noise or grandeur. It can start with a quiet step, a deep breath, and an honest look within yourself. Today, we'll walk together through 12 Buddhist lessons, gentle medicines for the heart, doorways that lead you back to peace and wholeness. 1. Stop comparing yourself. There's something that silently robs people of their peace, even faster than failure, the habit of comparing yourself to others. It sneaks in quietly often, disguised as motivation, yet little by little, it eats away at your confidence. Have you noticed? Just a few minutes scrolling through social media, and you're swept into a stream of perfect moments. Someone traveling to a stunning destination, someone else getting a big promotion, another person smiling in a picture-perfect family photo. And then, a small but weighty question arises in your mind. Why not me? The danger is this: you're comparing your real life with all its struggles, challenges, and ordinary days to a carefully curated, edited snapshot of someone else's. You see the mountaintop they're standing on, but not the countless times they fell into the valleys below. Comparison doesn't just exhaust you, it steals your ability to appreciate your own journey. When your eyes are fixed on someone else's path, you miss the small but meaningful steps you've taken. Worse, you start measuring your worth by someone else's yardstick and convince yourself you're behind, less capable, or not good enough. The truth is, every person is like a completely different book. No two are the same. Each chapter, each page, each detail is written with unique experiences, choices, and lessons. Judging yourself by someone else's story is like using their map to find your own way. You'll only end up lost. Think of the sun and the moon. They never compare themselves. The sun doesn't feel sad because it can't shine at night, and the moon doesn't envy the sun's light during the day. Each has its own timing and role. People are the same. You will shine at your own time, not earlier, not later exactly when the universe has planned for you. Comparison doesn't bring you closer to what you want. It only makes you forget what you already have. And when you forget what you have, gratitude slowly disappears, taking your joy with it. You begin living in a sense of lack even when you're surrounded by things worth cherishing. So, the next time you catch yourself in the spiral of comparison, pause for a moment. Take a deep breath. Look back at how far you've come from where you started. Remember the challenges you've overcome, things that might have made others give up. Remind yourself your value is not in how much you resemble someone else, but in the fact that you are uniquely you. No one can walk your exact path, just as you can't fully walk theirs. Every breath, every step, every choice you make is composing your own melody, a sound no one else can create. And if you're too busy listening to someone else's song, you'll miss the beautiful music already playing within you. True peace begins where comparison ends, not because you've won or are better than anyone, but because you no longer need comparison to feel whole. That's when you'll find freedom, the freedom to savor each moment and to move forward in the rhythm of your own becoming. And that perhaps is how you'll discover your deepest strength and your truest worth in this life. 2. Everything is impermanent. There are days when time feels as if it has stopped. Life around you goes on, yet inside, it's as though you're stuck in one place, surrounded by sadness, loss, or loneliness. You might have asked yourself, am I going to feel like this forever? Will this heaviness ever leave? And when you're in the middle of a storm, in your mind, the answer often seems to be no. But if you take a small step back, you'll notice life is still quietly moving forward, even when you feel like you aren't. Look at the seasons. Winter can feel endless, but then one morning the ice begins to melt, tiny buds appear, and the warmth of spring returns. Just like the tides that rise and fall, the sun that sets and rises, everything in life is constantly changing, even the pain you've been holding on to. The Buddha called this impermanence, the truth that nothing lasts forever, not joy, not sorrow. It sounds simple, but it's one of the most liberating lessons you can ever learn, because when you truly understand that nothing is permanent, you stop clinging so tightly to both the things that hurt you and the things you're afraid to lose. Think back to a difficult moment in your life. At the time, it might have felt like an endless night with no sunrise, but somehow, time passed. You're still here. You're still breathing. And part of that pain has softened. You may not remember the exact moment it became lighter, but it did. It moved on, or at least it no longer holds the same power over you. What's interesting is that impermanence doesn't just take away pain, it also takes away the things we love. That can feel frightening. But if you look deeper, it's because everything changes that each moment becomes more precious. If you know a sunset lasts only minutes, you'll watch it with your full attention and gratitude. If you know a loved one won't be with you forever, you'll love them more fully while they're here. Impermanence is not a sad warning. It's a gentle reminder. Live fully in this moment because it will never come again. It teaches patience in suffering and gratitude in joy. The pain you feel today will one day become a memory. The joy you have today will also fade into the past. When you understand this, you stop clinging and resisting. You allow things to come and go like waves instead of trying to hold on or push them away. And in that acceptance, a quiet peace begins to open within you. So, if you feel stuck right now, remind yourself, this is just one chapter, not your whole story. Let time do its work. Trust that just as winter gives way to spring, what feels heavy today will also change. When you know that everything is impermanent, you stop fearing change and you stop falling into despair when things don't go your way. You learn to stand steady, not because life is fixed, but because you understand every storm will pass and you will still be able to move forward. And perhaps the greatest gift of impermanence is hope. Because if nothing lasts forever, then even the deepest darkness must one day give way to light. 3. Gratitude is the foundation of healing. There's a simple truth that many people only realize after they've endured great loss. Gratitude can heal wounds more deeply than any advice or medicine ever could. But gratitude isn't always easy to find, especially when you're in the middle of exhausting days, heavy pressures, or feeling as if the whole world has turned its back on you. When life isn't going your way, the mind tends to focus on what's missing. You notice the empty spaces yet to be filled and the doors that have slammed shut, the dreams still out of reach. And in those moments, it's so easy to forget what you do have the small, often unnoticed things that quietly hold you up every single day. Pause for just a moment and think about the breath you just took. It came naturally without you having to ask or pay for it. Morning light spilling through the window, the sound of birdsong, the smell of fresh coffee. These are all silent gifts. The problem is, when we stop paying attention, we start taking them for granted, and that's when gratitude fades. The Buddha taught that a grateful heart is like fertile soil where all good things can grow. Gratitude opens your heart. It shifts your focus from only seeing what's wrong to also noticing what's right, no matter how small. And from there, a sense of abundance begins to replace the feeling of lack. Gratitude doesn't mean forcing yourself to be happy about pain or injustice. It simply means changing your perspective, shifting from dwelling on what's missing to appreciating what's already here. When you do this, the weight of sorrow lightens, like removing a few heavy stones from an overstuffed backpack. You might be thinking, but what do I have to be grateful for when everything is a mess? The answer is start with what's closest to you. It could be a friend who listens in silence, a warm meal, or simply the ability to open your eyes to a new day. Gratitude doesn't demand grand gestures. It grows out of the ordinary details. And it's those ordinary things that keep us alive inside. Here's the miracle. When you practice gratitude, often your mind naturally begins to seek out what's good. You start noticing more moments worth cherishing, rather than just seeing what's missing. And when you focus on the good, your heart feels lighter, your steps become steadier. Gratitude also changes the way you face challenges. When difficulties arise, instead of only seeing them as burdens, you might also see the lessons and opportunities for growth. This doesn't erase the pain instantly, but it gives you the strength to walk through it with a softer heart. Perhaps the most beautiful thing about gratitude is how it connects you to the present moment. When you are truly grateful, you're not running back to the past or racing ahead to the future. You are here fully present, realizing that right now, there is still something worth smiling about. And that very moment, that pause to feel it is already part of your healing. So start today. You don't need a long list. Just take a quiet moment to realize you're breathing. You have a roof over your head. You have eyes to see the colors of the world. Each time you do this, you plant another seed of peace in the garden of your heart. Over time, those seeds will bloom into a sanctuary where even when the storms come, there will still be a place for peace to rest. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a choice, and it's a choice that can change the way you see the world and the way you heal yourself. 4. Forgiveness for freedom. Some wounds don't show on the skin, yet they weigh heavier than any scar. They live in our memories, in words that pierce the heart, in cold glances, in the long silences of someone who once felt close. And strangely, even after years have passed, we still carry them every day, like a backpack full of stones growing heavier with every step. Many people believe that holding on to anger and resentment is a way of protecting themselves. We think that letting go means we're excusing someone's wrong actions. But the truth is different. Anger doesn't protect you, it traps you. It's like a slow-burning fire inside, consuming you with every breath. The Buddha once said holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. In the end, the one most harmed is you. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting. It does not mean denying the pain or pretending it never happened. Forgiveness is simply laying down the heavy load you've carried for too long. It's deciding to stop letting an old story control your mind and emotions. When you forgive, you're not saying it's okay. You're saying, I will not let this define me anymore. And forgiveness isn't just for others. Sometimes the hardest person to forgive is yourself. We punish ourselves for mistakes, wrong turns, and missed chances. We tell ourselves, I knew better, but I still did it, or if only I hadn't. These words repeated over time become invisible chains, but no one grows without stumbling. No one walks without ever taking the wrong path. Self-forgiveness opens the door to compassion. You can look back, see your mistakes clearly, learn from them, but no longer let them be a life sentence. You tell yourself, I did the best I could with the understanding I had at the time. Now, I choose to move forward. And when you do, you begin to feel a deep lightness, like removing a heavy coat you didn't realize you'd been wearing for years. The beautiful thing is that forgiving others and forgiving yourself often go hand in hand. When you understand that you have made mistakes and still deserve another chance, you start to see that others do too. Everyone carries their own wounds, and sometimes they hurt others from pain they haven't yet healed. This doesn't excuse harmful actions, but it helps you see them with softer eyes. Forgiveness is an act of courage. It asks you to face the pain, accept it, and then choose to release it. Not everyone is ready, but once you do, you realize you're not just freeing them, you're freeing yourself. You reclaim space in your heart space where peace and freedom can finally enter. Imagine waking up each morning without the weight of an old story on your back. Imagine that the memory of the one who hurt you no longer tightens your chest, but becomes just another page turned. Life feels lighter, the sky seems wider, and your breath feels deeper. That is the gift of forgiveness. And perhaps the most important thing to remember is this: you don't have to wait until you feel ready to forgive. Forgiveness is a choice, and sometimes you must choose it before your heart fully agrees. But start anyway, even with a small step. Tell yourself today, I choose to let go. I choose peace. And day by day, little by little, the chains will loosen and you will walk lighter than ever before. 5. compassion for yourself. There's something many of us forget. Compassion isn't just for other people. It has to begin with you. And yet, strangely, we're often our own harshest critic. One small mistake, one awkward comment, one ordinary failure, and you can turn on yourself instantly, as if you should never be allowed to be human. When someone ignores you, dismisses you, or treats you coldly, what hurts isn't just their action. It's the voice inside that whispers, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I don't deserve better. And if that voice speaks long enough, you start to believe that your worth depends entirely on how others see you. But the Buddha taught you yourself. As much as anybody in the entire universe deserve your love and affection. When you truly take this in, you realize the thing you've been missing isn't love from the outside, it's connection to your own heart. Loving yourself doesn't mean indulging in every desire or making excuses to avoid growth. It's a gentle presence, a willingness to notice the cracks without rushing to condemn them. When you practice this, you learn to stand by yourself, even when no one else does. You stop needing constant outside approval just to feel whole. Imagine starting each morning, not with a mental list of everything you need to fix, but with a warm greeting to yourself. Imagine looking back at your mistakes and seeing them as pages in the journal of your growth, not lifelong sentences. You'd feel lighter, not because life is perfect, but because you're no longer at war with yourself. Self-compassion also makes you stronger in the face of loneliness. When you know you will always have your own back, you no longer fear being alone or cling to others just to fill the silence. From that place of inner fullness, you can love more freely because you're giving from abundance, not scarcity. It changes the way you see the world. When you learn to be gentle with yourself, you naturally become gentler with others. You see that everyone has their tired days, their weak moments, and their unseen battles. And here's the thing, self-love isn't something that shows up overnight. It's a habit built through small acts, pausing to take a deep breath when you're stressed, allowing yourself to rest without guilt, telling yourself, I'm doing my best, instead of, I'm not good enough. These small moments are the soil where healing takes root. One day, when life gets hard, you won't ask, who's going to stand by me? You'll hear another answer, deep inside, I will. I'll stand by me. And in that moment, you'll understand that the greatest love you can give this life is the love you give yourself, because from that love, all other good things can grow. When you learn to have compassion for yourself, you realize there's no wound too deep to heal, because you're not just patching up the tears in your heart, you're building it a safe home, a place where it can rest, recover, and keep on loving. 6. Let go of control to live lightly. There's something we often don't realize. Most of our stress, exhaustion, and worry comes from one very familiar habit, trying to control everything. You want things to go exactly as planned. You want the people around you to behave the way you expect. You want life to listen to you. And when it doesn't, which in truth is most of the time, you feel disappointed, frustrated, even powerless. The desire to control isn't always bad. It comes from a natural need to feel safe. But the truth is, life has never been fully in our hands. Everything changes, people's moods, the weather, circumstances, opportunities, and the tighter you grip, the more drained you become. It's like trying to hold water in your palm. The harder you squeeze, the more it slips away. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up or being careless. It's not about passively waiting for life to happen. It's a wise acceptance that there's only one thing you truly control yourself: your thoughts, your reactions, your choices. Everything else you can influence, but never own completely. Think back to a time when your plans fell apart. You worried, scrambled, and tried everything to fix it. But later, things unfolded differently, sometimes even better than you imagined. And in hindsight, you saw how much energy you wasted fighting a current you couldn't turn. The Buddha taught impermanence. Everything is in motion, constantly changing. Trying to control it all is like commanding the wind to blow in one direction. You can set your sail, adjust your course, but the wind will still be the wind. And sometimes it's the unexpected gust that takes you to a shore you never dreamed of. Letting go makes life lighter because it frees you from rigid expectations. You still have goals. You still try your best, but you stop boxing your life into a single script. You give yourself permission to adapt to flow and to find opportunity in the unplanned. Here's the beauty: when you stop trying to steer every detail, you start listening more. Listening to others, to yourself, and to life itself. You realize that sometimes, instead of rowing harder, you just need to put the oar down for a moment and let the current carry you forward. And in that release, a strange peace arises, like the relief of finally dropping your shoulders and noticing how long you've been tense. If your life feels tangled right now, try asking, what can I truly control? And what do I need to let unfold on its own? That question alone can help you see where to take action and where to let go. Letting go is a journey, not a one-time decision. You'll have moments where you tighten your grip again, wanting things your way. But each time you notice it, pause, breathe deeply, and remind yourself, I just need to do my part. The rest I'll let life handle. And soon, you'll see when you stop trying to control everything, you free your time and energy for what truly matters: loving, connecting, and living fully in the present moment. Because sometimes, happiness isn't about making life obey your plans. It's about learning to smile at the things beyond your reach. 7. Silence is medicine. In today's world, the rarest thing isn't diamonds or gold. It's silence. We live in an ocean of noise. The roar of traffic, the constant ping of notifications, conversations swirling around us, and the endless chatter inside our own minds. Even when everything outside grows quiet, it's as if there's still a crowded room inside our head, with voices talking all at once. When life gets too loud, we forget something important: that it's silence, not noise, that heals the deepest wounds. The Buddha once taught, a mind trained in stillness brings happiness. It sounds simple, but it's an art of sitting down, letting go, and allowing your mind to return to its natural wave-free state. Silence isn't just about not speaking. It's about stopping completely, not chasing tangled thoughts, not rushing to react, not forcing answers to appear. It's simply being here. At first, this can feel uncomfortable because when the outer noise fades, the inner noise can grow louder. The unhealed memories, the fears you've pushed aside, the questions that never had answers. But that's where the transformation begins. It's like stirring cloudy water. Everything is unsettled, floating in chaos. Only when you stop stirring does the water settle and you can see the bottom. Silence works the same way. It allows the mind to settle so you can clearly see what's truly inside. You can simply find a quiet place. Close your eyes and let your breath lead the way. When a thought comes, instead of chasing it, just notice it and gently return to your breathing. Over time, you begin to realize you are not your thoughts. You are the one watching them. And here's the miracle. When you spend enough time in silence, another voice appears. Not loud, not urgent, just a gentle whisper. You're not broken. You're just tired. Come home to yourself. This isn't the voice of the ego. It's the voice of your soul, the deepest part of you that has been patiently waiting for you to listen. Silence is also powerful medicine for a tangled mind. When you stop trying to think your way out, the pieces often fall into place on their own. Just as a lake can only reflect clearly when its surface is still, your mind becomes clear only when it's allowed to rest. One of the greatest gifts of silence is how it reconnects you with the present moment. You start noticing the things you once overlooked. The sound of the wind brushing through the leaves. The sensation of breath moving through your chest. The shifting colors of the sky at dusk. You realize you don't need to travel far to find peace. It's right here in every moment. Spending time in silence isn't about escaping the world. It's about returning to yourself so you can live more clearly within it. When the mind has been bathed in stillness, you step back into life with clearer eyes, a lighter heart, and a quiet strength to face whatever lies ahead. So, if your life feels too noisy right now, give yourself a gift. No one else can give a moment of silence. Put down your phone, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let the quiet hold you. In that space, you'll realize peace was never gone. It's just been waiting for you to be still enough to find it. 8. Tracing the roots of pain. Some pains never seem to leave. They're not loud or violent like a sudden storm. They're more like a slow, hidden wound that aches whenever it's touched. Sometimes, all it takes is an offhand comment, a passing glance, or a long silence to bring it all rushing back. You ask yourself, why does something so small hurt this much? The answer often lies far deeper than the surface. The Buddha taught that all suffering has a cause. If you don't uncover that cause, you're only sweeping away the fallen leaves while leaving the roots to rot beneath the soil. And just as a withered tree cannot bloom again if its roots remain dry, your heart cannot truly heal if the deeper cause of your wound is left unattended. Imagine a child being laughed at in front of the whole class for a small mistake. The moment passes quickly, but the shame and humiliation may take root deep inside. Years later, as an adult, just one piece of criticism can make them feel as if they're back in that classroom, their heart racing, hands trembling, confidence crumbling. It's not because the criticism today is too harsh. It's because it struck the scar that never healed. We often try to outrun these wounds by staying busy, chasing fleeting pleasures, or telling ourselves, it's all in the past. But the truth is, it's not gone. It's just lying dormant, waiting for a trigger to resurface. And when it does, we don't just react to the present, we react to every unresolved memory it carries. Tracing the roots of your pain is not about blaming the past or pointing fingers. It's about turning inward to understand why you react the way you do, and to see where the wound began. When you find the cause, you stop being the victim, dragged around by unconscious emotions. You become the one holding the lantern to light your own path. This journey takes courage. It's not easy to sit with memories you've tried to bury, but if you stay with them patiently, you'll realize something important. The wound is not your enemy. It's a part of you speaking up, saying, "See me, hear me, I need to be healed." When you truly listen, a gentle shift begins. Instead of avoiding the hurt, you start to hold it with compassion. You understand that you reacted that way because you were trying to protect yourself, and that you did the best you could with what you knew at the time. Sometimes, tracing pain back to its root brings surprising answers. You realize that what hurt you wasn't just the event. It was the story you told yourself about the event. And you can begin to rewrite that story, not to erase it, but to let it become part of your growth instead of a chain that holds you back. Like tending a garden, if you want the plant to thrive, you must kneel down, touch the soil, and care for the roots. The heart is no different. If you have the patience to reach the root of your pain, you'll no longer fear when the winds of memory blow, because when the roots are strong, the tree stands tall. And perhaps the most beautiful part of this journey is realizing that in facing your pain, you're moving closer to freedom. Not freedom because the wounds are gone, but because they no longer control you. You can look back at the past without trembling and step into the present with a heart more open than ever before. 9. Every day is a new opportunity. Each morning, when the first light slips through your curtains, you're handed a gift. You might not even notice a chance to begin again. No matter how chaotic, exhausting, or heavy yesterday felt, the morning arrives like a gentle reminder. Today, you can rewrite your story. Yet most of us don't treat mornings as fresh starts. We carry the fragments of yesterday, unfinished arguments, regrets we haven't released, worries about the future, and pile them on our backs. The day begins, but our minds are still stuck in the past or drifting into what hasn't happened yet. It's no wonder so many feel drained before the day even truly starts. If you pay attention, mornings hold a special stillness. Even the busiest streets have a moment of pause. The air feels cooler, life moves slower, and you can sense you're standing right on the edge between what has passed and what's about to come. It's a precious moment to choose. Will you keep replaying the same old story, or will you let a new chapter unfold? The Buddha once taught that the past is only memory, the future is only imagination, and the present is where life truly happens. Every morning is a chance to live that truth. When you wake up and take your first breath of the day, you can choose to set down part of yesterday's weight. You can tell yourself, "Today I will not let yesterday define me." Starting fresh doesn't require grand changes overnight. Sometimes it's as simple as the way you speak to yourself in the mirror, as simple as a soft smile instead of a frown, as simple as stepping outside, taking a deep breath, and feeling the sun warm your skin. These small acts repeated each morning can slowly gather the strength to transform your life. Imagine if each morning you saw yourself as a blank page. What would you write on it? Would you let it be scribbled with old tired lines, or would you draw something brighter and new? You can't erase what happened yesterday, but you can choose not to copy it into today. There are people who've carried a sadness for years until one morning they decided, "Today, I will not let that sadness be the first thing I think about." A simple choice like that, repeated long enough, can change the entire way they live. Morning is also the perfect time to plant seeds for the day ahead. A word of gratitude, a quiet intention, a promise to slow down. And the beautiful thing is, when you start your day with lightness, the world often reflects that lightness back to you. Each day carries an invitation. Would you like to try again? The answer is yours alone. Whatever happened yesterday, today can be different. You don't have to wait for a new year, a special occasion, or a milestone. Every morning is already a beginning, a chance to live with more kindness, more love, and more forgiveness for others and for yourself. So, the next time the sun rises, pause for a moment. Feel your breath. Feel life happening right now. And remind yourself, today is a gift. I will open it with my whole heart. You may be surprised to find that starting your day this way makes life feel so much lighter. Every morning is a new opportunity. Don't let it pass by as an unconscious habit. Let it be the start of a day you will cherish, not because everything goes perfectly, but because you chose to live it fully from the very first moment. 10. Live fully in the present moment. There's a quiet habit that silently steals the most precious moments of our lives when our mind is somewhere else far from where our body is. You might be sitting here right now, but your thoughts drift back to an old memory or rush ahead into a future that hasn't arrived. The body is in the present, but the mind is not. And day after day, you realize you've been living without truly being alive. We carry yesterday like a heavy backpack stuffed with unresolved moments, unforgiven mistakes, and words left unsaid. Before we can set it down, we start filling it with tomorrow's worries, unfinished tasks, uncertainties, imagined scenarios. It's no wonder so many feel exhausted even before the day has really begun, because their mind has already been running a marathon. The Buddha taught that life truly exists only in this moment. The past is just memory, the future only possibility. Only the present is real. And yet, ironically, we spend most of our time in places that don't exist, remembering and regretting or imagining and fearing, while the only thing we can actually touch, change, and live fully is right now. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring the past or dismissing the future. The past offers lessons, the future holds hope, but both have value only when you stand firmly in this moment. It's like rowing a boat. You can glance behind to steer, look ahead to see where you're going, but your oar must press into the water right beneath you. Have you noticed how when your mind stops wandering and actually stays here, even the simplest things feel vivid and alive? The birds outside your window aren't just background noise, they're music. The cup of tea in your hands isn't just a drink, it's warmth seeping into your palms. Even your breath, something you've done since birth, feels like a small miracle when you truly notice it. And here's the beauty. When you're in the present, you naturally become calmer. The worries about the future loosen their grip because you see they're just thoughts, not facts. Regrets from the past fade into the distance because you're no longer living there. Your mind stops being stretched between two ends and begins to soften to breathe. Of course, living fully in the present isn't something you master overnight. The mind will keep running away, that's its habit. But each time you notice you've left, you can simply guide it back. One deep breath. One slow look around. One gentle question. Am I missing something that's happening right now? That's all it takes to return. When you truly live in the present, you also connect more deeply with others. You don't just hear their words, you truly listen. You don't just look at them, you really see them. And this presence, your full, genuine attention, is one of the greatest gifts you can give another human being. Life never promised to be easy, but it always offers you one moment to live this one. If you can stay with it even for a few minutes each day, you'll find you don't need to search for peace elsewhere. Peace has been here all along, beneath your feet, in your breath, in the small details you once overlooked. Because in the end, it's not yesterday or tomorrow, it's now where life is happening. And when you cherish this moment, you realize you've never truly lacked anything you needed to live fully. 11. Facing your pain. There's a habit almost all of us have done at some point. When we're hurting, we do everything we can to avoid it. We bury ourselves in work, turn the music up loud, scroll endlessly through our phones, or laugh a little too much, as if nothing happened. On the outside, we might look fine, but inside, the wound is still there, just hidden under layers of temporary bandages. The truth is, pain doesn't disappear just because we ignore it. In fact, the more we abandon it, the more determined it becomes to return, sometimes even stronger than before. It's like a child who's been left alone, knocking on the door again and again, just to be seen and heard. Buddhist wisdom offers a simple yet profound truth. What we refuse to feel will never truly heal. Pain is not your enemy. It's a message. It comes to tell you that something within you needs attention, needs to be held, needs to be understood. If you keep pushing it away, you miss the chance to hear what it's trying to say. Think back to a time when you truly allowed yourself to sit with your sadness. You didn't push it aside. You didn't analyze it. You didn't judge it. You simply acknowledged, yes, I'm hurting. Yes, I'm wounded. At first, this might make you feel fragile, maybe even afraid. But in that moment, something important happens. You stop abandoning yourself. Sitting with your pain is like inviting an unwelcome guest into your home, pouring them a cup of tea and listening to their story. Maybe it speaks in tears. Maybe it says nothing at all, simply sitting there. But if you stay, it will slowly soften, and you'll begin to understand why it came and what it came to teach you. Pain, when welcomed, becomes a patient teacher. It teaches you about human fragility, about how to treasure joy when it visits, and about the hidden strength inside you that you never knew you had. But if you keep avoiding it, it will keep knocking again and again until you finally open the door. Many people fear that if they face their pain, they'll be swallowed whole by it. But pain isn't an endless ocean. It's more like a wave. Powerful when it crashes, but it always recedes. Only when you dare to stand still in that wave do you realize it will dissolve, leaving behind a quiet, open shore. Accepting your pain doesn't mean you stop wanting to heal. It simply means you're starting from the most honest step, acknowledging where you are now. From there, you can find the gentlest path forward. And perhaps most beautifully, when you learn to embrace your own pain, you also grow in compassion for the pain of others. You won't rush to say, "Don't be sad," or "It'll be okay" in a hurried surface way. Instead, you'll know how to sit beside them in silence, simply being present, because you understand that sometimes presence is the greatest gift of healing. So, if you're carrying a pain right now, don't rush to run away from it. Pause. Take a deep breath and say to yourself, "I see this pain. I'm here with it." You might be surprised to discover that healing doesn't always begin by pushing pain away. It begins the moment you open your arms to hold it. 12. Practicing mindfulness. In modern life, we often think exhaustion comes from working our bodies too hard. But if you pay closer attention, you'll notice most of our fatigue comes from the mind. Hundreds of thoughts race through our heads each day. Memories from yesterday, tasks for today, worries about tomorrow, weaving together, colliding, and never stopping. The mind becomes like a noisy room, so loud that even when you're sitting still, it feels like rush hour traffic inside. Mindfulness is the art of opening the windows in that crowded room, letting the air flow in, allowing the dust to settle, and giving light a way to shine through. It's not something distant or reserved, only for people who've meditated for years. Mindfulness is simply living fully in whatever you're doing right now, being truly present in this very moment. You can start first thing in the morning. Instead of reaching for your phone the moment you wake, open your eyes slowly. Feel the pillow under your head, the warmth of the blanket, and the gentle rhythm of your breathing. When you brush your teeth, notice the sound of running water, the bristles moving against your teeth, the taste of the toothpaste. When you drink tea or coffee, savor each sip. Inhale the aroma. Feel the warmth against your lips, then down your throat. These moments may seem small, but this kind of attention is the first step toward mindfulness. Throughout the day, choose moments to return to the present. At mealtimes, put your phone down, turn off the TV, and just sit with your food. Think about the journey that brought it to your plate, the seed planted in the soil, the sun and rain that nurtured it, the farmer's hands that cared for it. Each bite is not just food, it's the result of countless blessings. Eating mindfully nourishes not only your body, but also your gratitude. Walking can also become a mindfulness practice. You don't need a special path. Just pay attention to each step. Feel your feet touching the ground, your body moving the air, brushing against your skin. When you slow down, you realize you're not just walking to a destination, you're fully alive in every step. Mindfulness is also present in the way you work. Instead of juggling multiple tasks, give your full attention to one thing at a time. When writing, just write. When listening to someone, just listen, without interrupting, without preparing your reply. You'll find you understand others more deeply, and your relationships will naturally grow stronger, simply because you were truly there. In the beginning, your mind will constantly wander off. You might be washing dishes and suddenly think of an email you need to send. You might be listening to someone, but already planning dinner in your head. That's normal. Mindfulness isn't about forcing yourself not to think. It's about gently bringing your mind back whenever you notice it's wandered, without judgment or hurry. As you practice more, you'll notice a subtle but powerful shift. Worries about the future will loosen their grip because you no longer live so much in that space. Regrets from the past will fade because you're spending more time in the present. You begin to notice the beauty in ordinary things, the sunlight on the wall, the rustle of leaves, the smile of a stranger. The truth is, mindfulness isn't something you succeed or fail at. It's a journey with no final destination, only moments to return to again and again. And it's those returns that are the most precious. So right after watching this video, try something simple. Stop, take a deep breath in, and let it out slowly. Just a few seconds to truly feel yourself here now. As the Buddha taught, every moment of awareness is a moment of real living. You see, the path to healing peace and true happiness isn't somewhere far away. It begins with small steps, a deep breath, a mindful pause, a gentler way of seeing yourself. When you learn to be present, to appreciate and to love, each day becomes a meaningful part of your life instead of slipping away unnoticed. If these words touched your heart today, let them be the seed of a new change. And if you want to continue cultivating peace, wisdom, and compassion in your life, we'd love for you to journey with us. Hit subscribe to Buddhism Seeds so you won't miss our next sharing. If this video brought value to you, please like and share. Share to spread kindness. And don't forget to leave a comment below. Share your thoughts or your story. Who knows? Your words may be the light that guides someone else forward.